Hey, this is Matt. Learn a bit here. Thanks for joining. Today we're going to go over a few things. Should be a pretty interesting day, and how possibly $1 trillion coin could save everything. U.S. debt, the economy, the world economy, and yeah, the way we things as we know it. But without change comes a lot of pain. So let's see if that can happen. All right, over here on our YouTube channel, we are sitting at 14 subscribers. We are now over the $1 trillion coin episode. Not exactly what you think. Past few episodes, I've been doing pretty good actually. Here I think I nailed the thumbnail. Lower, can we expect lower? I think that really got people's attention. 12 views. No subs though. Definitely looking for some of those. We can keep trying new things and see what works best for us over here. Over here on Twitter, still sitting at 10 followers. Been posting quite actively. There you can usually see the most latest stuff that I'm looking at. We're gonna go over a few things that I found on Twitter over the weekend that I really enjoyed. And on our Instagram, still sitting at, oh, we ticked up an extra follower here. Wonderful. And we don't have a current story, but doing well over here. Looking pretty good. Fear and greed index today for cryptocurrencies is sitting at 25. So we're even a little bit lower than we were previously. It's sitting extreme fear. So people are getting pretty worried. And I'm going to show us why we maybe not to be too worried what we're looking at right now. The Ethereum burn, I always like to show this. We're almost sitting at 400,000, which is fantastic. It's good to just see how much we're burning. And the fees did spike up a little bit. Sitting at 284 GUI right now. That's a pretty high transaction fee and a burn rate of 3.1. I think I'm gonna start showing this every time we do a live stream, just so we can get a perspective of what we're looking at here. So over here, back in 2017, we were in the yellow, and that's kind of when we start to see this crossover of the line, of the average line here, of that plan B is made. As you can see over here, we aren't even close to the line. Like back here, we should have been crossing over, right? If we would have been on track to the same amount of time as here, right? But it looks like it's gonna take us a little further. So maybe we won't be crossing over until, you know, October, end of October, November, maybe we can make up that ground, and maybe we won't see us pass over in there until the following 2022. It's possible. Not quite sure. We still haven't seen this blow off top where we're exuberated past the line and we come crashing down, touch it below it. Same thing here. Exuberated past the line, passed it again even higher in 2013, 2014, and then we came back down to retest that level. So that's what we're looking for. People are saying that this model is dead because we're too far below the line, but why are we allowed to be over the line, right? I'd say if we're going to say this model is dead, then this here is way too exuberant past the stock to flow model, which then case makes this model void. But I do think that this here is just something that we're going to be experiencing maybe a little more often. More deviation might take us longer to get to where we're supposed to be over the years. It could be suppression as well, manipulation from bigger players, but we're not quite sure about that yet. And, you know, everyone can have their predictions, but do we really know for sure unless you're in that circle? No, it's really hard to tell. All right, we're sitting at $1.85 trillion for crypto market cap, and Bitcoin is going down, which, as we saw in the last video, is what we were kind of expecting. Ethereum still holding good at 2,800. Can't complain there. What are our biggest gainers for the week? DYDX, and I will be talking about this one later in the video. Actually, I had an opportunity to get some of these coins as an airdrop, and I missed out. And we'll talk about that a little bit later. And you know, 300 coins at $20 a piece. You know, that's a fair bit of money, right? What does that work out to? Like 6,000 US. Could have been pretty good. And everyone else is doing pretty good for the week. Tezos People are sleeping on this one. Uniswap had a huge pump last week. And people are saying that's because of the China FUD and people going into decentralized exchanges. Could be not, but I think people are just accumulating and based on where it is right now in the charts. All right, this is my Bitcoin chart. Nothing special. We're kind of still bouncing around in this range. On the last video, we had saw that I touched exactly where we're looking at $53,268 or $129. This was our golden pocket Fibonacci ratio that we took from the high all the way down to the low, and that gave us that level. So we knew we were getting a reaction from here. We didn't know what it was, but looking back, this would have been a great short. So now, since this one played out so well, I took my fib from the low to our new high, which is now a lower high. So I'm looking for a bounce at 36,700. So I can put in a long position with a little bit of my account, like 2% of my account, 37,500. I'm gonna try and get a fill. It's okay if it goes a little bit lower. I'm not looking for the exact bottom. I just kind of want to get in, and I'm looking for the same reaction we got here in the opposite direction. Boom, I'm looking for up higher. So that's what I'm hoping for, and we're gonna kind of see this staircase type movement. I'm thinking we're gonna go from this to something like here, maybe come back down again, and then try and break through this level one more time. That's kind of what I'm thinking. And that already there puts us in March 2022. Obviously, it's not the same time, but that's kind of what I'm looking for the next little bit. Not that time period, per se. I do think October is going to be crazy, and we might go parabolic, which I have yet to experience a parabolic movement. Some say that this here, we happen here from 20,000. Where was it? When we broke the old all-time high, 20,000. This here was a parabolic move. It does look pretty sharp, but I'm looking for something even sharper. Yeah, so that's what I got for that chart. Here's the Ethereum chart. Here's in the 4-hour. Still looks like we're going in like a downward trend, roughly. Whatever, nothing crazy. Gonna be going down. Doesn't look like any reversal yet. If you do zoom out on the daily, though, we retested some old highs, lower high. As long as we put in a lower or higher low, I still think that'd be pretty bullish. And if we're looking at a weekly chart, this just looks like a blimp on the radar. Nothing too crazy. To me, still looks like we'll be heading up a little further. A little bit of consolidation here. A little breather. September is usually a brutal month. So here, Raoul Pal posted this on Twitter last week, and I saw this and I was couldn't believe it. So what we got here, just because perspective is useful for everyone. This is ETH 2021 versus BTC 2017. So BTC is going to be your white line and your blue line is ETH. Okay. If this follows exactly, then Ethereum, we're looking for 20,000 Ethereum before it tops off, which, those are the predictions everyone was saying at the beginning of the year, blah, blah. But maybe it's just going to take a little longer to get there. Maybe this happens in February, right? March, we get a huge blow off top of 20,000. So the chart seems to be going pretty well. If I'd say it's following, overall dips, maybe here, a little bit of deviation. Over here, it made up for it, going past the line, kind of followed the same level. And this has been following it pretty well. Maybe went a little bit higher than Bitcoin back in August. We were able to get a little bit higher, had a huge correction. Both of them went a little bit lower because they went a little bit higher. And I'm looking for us to hopefully break, 4,000, October, November. Hopefully October. November is a little bit late. And then this is BTC 2021 versus 2013. So in blue, you got 2013, 2012 BTC. In white, you have BTC right now. So here, around the same time, looks like we had a dip, and we should be seeing some upward movement. So here, this is what I'm looking for parabolic movement. It's going to be that straight up line, where here it was very jagged. It was very tick tock, stepping up to higher highs and higher highs. I want to see this parabolic straight up movement, correction, straight up one more time. That's what I'm looking for. Over here, we have the Caradno Summit 2021 that happened over the weekend. Expecting some good things like that. Head over here on the website. It'll be in the description. You can listen to all their interviews that they did, the partners that they had, input, output, Cardano Foundation. They're going to be doing a stable coin. Lots of good stuff came from this thing. And then the price itself maybe didn't, let's see, Cardano's number what, 3 probably in top cryptocurrencies. Let's check it out. What's right here? Down 4%, 5%. So back down $2, which seems like a pretty good steal right now. If you look at the past 3 months, we were sitting at $3.19, so $2 could hit $4 most likely. So that's a double your money and potentially in less than 3 months. So the $1 trillion coin idea is back as a wacky way to prevent financial agorgamadon. That was brutal. No idea what that word means, but we'll check that out next time. So the markets in the States are struggling with their debt. Not the markets, I should say. The U.S. government has a large amount of debt. There's been this idea that I found on the internet that I thought was pretty interesting, and it was a $1 trillion coin. So there's a law in the States that you are allowed to make a certain coin with a certain amount of value for collectibles, blah, blah, and it needs to be certain restrictions, certain size, weight. It'd have to have a certain amount of metals in it, but whatever. But nowhere does it say the value of that coin. So they're saying that a president has the power to issue a $1 trillion coin, even a $100 trillion coin, through this law that kind of, without going through the House, without going through the Senate, that kind of has this like loophole. And they're saying that they could potentially pay back their debt. So if you look over here, U.S. debt. Oh God, that was brutal. That's not how you spelled that. $28 trillion, .8 trillion. That's crazy. So basically, the national debt ceiling, the limit that the U.S. government is allowed to have debt overhead, I believe is like 28.9 trillion. So by October, I think 15th or something, the U.S. government's going to run out of money. So they either have to raise the debt, they either have to create a coin that's going to pay off, maybe $1 trillion of this or 100 trillion, and then they will be owed money. But it's going to be interesting to see how that's going to go. It's a pretty cool thing. You can look at it. It's got a bunch of different blocks. This one's pretty pretty interesting. And they even added a new section on here. Can I see where it is? I thought they had a cryptocurrency section. Income tax, taxes, spending, GBD ratio, unfunded debt interest, no. Money creation. US M2 money supply. Man, where is it? All right. Oh, dollar to crypto ratio. 2013 dollar crypto ratio 9,726 to 1. Now it's 10.46 to 1. And that's insane. Silver ratio, gold ratio. Just the different ways you can look at it. It'd be interesting to see if that's a possibility. And if the US starts paying back their debt with $1 trillion coin, how would that affect the markets? How would that affect bonds? How would that affect trade? Would the dollar devalued? Would it not be? It's a bunch of questions that would be interesting to see. So DYDX is a exchange, leverage trading. You can do a few things. I looked into it maybe about a year ago now, and I hadn't traded on the exchange because I was just starting crypto, wasn't sure. figure I'd lose my money. It wasn't as straightforward as I'd liked it to be. It wasn't user-friendly for me to start off with. But if I had just done a dollar transaction, I would currently have $6,000 US because they have dropped over 100K up to, depending on how much you trade. So if you trade over $100,000, you get $100,000 back. But the minimum airdrop you could have gotten at the beginning was worth $4,000. This may be the biggest airdrop ever to happen. So just saying, you never know what platform you're going to be using. You never know what you might use one day that has a token airdrop. So always check your wallet, see if you can claim anything. But over here, as you can see, start off at $12 and we're already sitting at 22. Pretty interesting. The supply, there's only 6% of the supply out. Max coins 100. Oh no, 1 trillion. So we'll see how that goes. Supply might be diminished over time, but definitely a coin to keep your eye out. Yeah, that's all I got for you guys today. This is Learn a Bit. 14 subs. Don't forget to like, follow, and give us a follow on Twitter as well and on Instagram. We'd love to see more of you guys. Thanks so much. Have a good one. Bye.